Hello, everyone. I'm Carrie Tang. Today we will look at the life in the late 1800s through the lens of Wyatt Earp. Wyatt Earp is a famous lawman and talented gunfighter. His brothers were well known too. They are most known for when they worked together from 1881 to 1883 in Tombstone, Arizona. They are most known for the gunfight at the OK Corral, in which Virgil Earp tried to enforce a no-weapon policy in the town. It was challenged with a gunfight in which the brothers and Doc Holliday had won because the confronters had ran away or were mortally wounded. Life in the frontiers was challenging. There was a lack of civilization, and the law that was around to offer protection from bandits and raids were stretched thin. Wyatt tended to seek frontiers. He migrated to towns that needed the law to settle it. He enjoyed chasing the evildoers, looking to take advantage of folks who were starting out in areas that were not tame. For example, one newspaper described San Francisco as being a frontier cattle town when Earp was lawman, but now it was changed. It was civilized. Earp was back today not as a lawman but as a referee. The town was chosen to host the heavyweight champion boxing match, which was a really big deal. After cleaning up San Francisco, the newspaper explains Earp went to Arizona to clear the town of a desperado infestation. Then he went to Kansas to be marshal and install law there. Life went from dangerous with gun battles to tame with security. Of course, there were other newspapers that mentioned Wyatt Earp may have left certain areas because he gained too many enemies. The truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. But regardless, frontiers were dangerous places to be, and it took skilled effort and bravery to protect those lands. This is the beginning of the fall of Wyatt Earp's legacy during his time. He was hailed as a man with virtue and honesty. Sharkey and Fitzsimmons were fighting for the heavyweight title. Earp was to referee. The prize was $10,000, which is the equivalent of almost $400,000 today. Fitzsimmons was winning, but in the 8th round he was disqualified and lost for a low blow punch, which is below the belt. Some sided with Earp and others felt that there was not a low blow punch delivered to Sharkey. There was a huge litigation battle where Fitzsimmons tried to prove he won and deserved the payout. However, the court ultimately declared the fight illegal, so Sharkey was able to claim the money as the court did not have a say in illegal fights. Years later, the two would fight again, and Fitzsimmons won the battle without any question. It is believed that Earp received more attention due to this fight than he did for the Battle of the OK Corral or any other gunfight battles. His reputation was tarnished. He tried to referee a few more matches, but one in particular ended with Earp getting beat up by a boxer angry at a call he had made against that boxer. The amount that this fight was over, the $10,000, shows the level of progress people were willing to spend for entertainment. It shows that things were getting easy. People could now pay money to watch people fight, and they weren't struggling as much because they had the free time to watch something like a boxing match. It also shows that with the progress, it twisted people's morals, as in the way they came together. Sharkey and the boxing match team and Earp, most likely Earp too, came together to go against Fitzsimmons to win that money, even though Fitzsimmons most likely never did do that low blow, as they were saying he did. So by 1900, you would think that there wasn't any frontiers left. However, Wyatt Earp headed to Cape Nome, Alaska in 1900 when he was finished with the referee gig. He decided to prospect for gold and run a saloon. He enjoyed gambling, which became his downfall. July 26, 1900, he was shot during a gambling dispute. The papers ran it as Wyatt had become disabled due to the wound in his arm. 10 days prior to being shot, his last surviving brother, Virgil, had been shot to death in Willcox, Arizona. At the time of Wyatt's own shooting, where he became wounded, he had not known that his brother had died. News travels slowly in some parts of the country, like Cape Nome, Alaska. Wyatt lived in a time when he could have chosen a town that was fairly settled, but he chased the towns with current lawlessness. He chased the wild side of life. He seemed to find trouble wherever he went. He had an entrepreneurial spirit in which he was willing to try new things, besides being a lawman. He tried to referee for high-profile boxing matches. He tried to run a saloon and panhandle for gold. However, the gunfights kept calling him back, even in 1900. It's interesting to note he did make it till 1929, and he was 81 years old. Now, Wyatt shows that during the 1800s, the late 1800s, you could choose different ways of life. You could choose something civilized, where you could be a doctor, a lawyer, or you could still live on the wild side where things were not tamed. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about Wyatt Earp. I find it very interesting that he went from a man that was in the beginning, he just wanted to fight in the Civil War, but he was too young, he couldn't. And then he went to a lawman where he was in constant battles, and then he went to trying to referee boxing matches, to panhandling for gold, and running a saloon. It just shows there was definitely a lot of different opportunities during the late 1800s into the 1900s. Have a great night.